Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and to one of those long time coming videos. This video is about the water device that my husband and I have been testing for the better part of a year, really. Here it is almost October, and I received this device I think last year, towards the end of the year. I can't remember exactly when I got it, but at any rate, we have been testing this thing for some time. So this particular video is only to share with you my findings. I'm just now beginning to investigate the scientific papers that are on the DabV website, and the reason that I did not look at a lot of their research initially was because I did not want to be biased. I wanted to test this thing with an open mind, you know, with a real unbiased viewpoint. So I want to share with you a little bit of the video that DabV put out. They have an animated video about what the device does, and if you I'll show you a picture here of an up close of this. You can see that it's actually quite well worn because I have traveled a lot with it. I've used this in 3 states, I think. I've not been able to really test it on the water pipes, which is one of the main claims that the DabV stands in Norwegian. This is a Norwegian water structuring device. That DabV stands for the very best water. Now, when I received this, my understanding was that it was somehow a water purification device. But that is not correct. And if you remember back, if you watched the first video that Kaylin and I did with some of the people in Norway, I think there was a little bit of misunderstanding due to the language barrier. Some of the men that we were talking with did not speak good English, and so I think that there was a little bit of misunderstanding in some of our questions and their answers. So hopefully we can clarify that. I have been in communication with a gentleman by the name of Hans. Hans is over the US division of DabV. When we posted our original video, they were not yet set up to sell within the United States, and they had gotten so many calls from people wanting to order the device that they said, take that video down, you know, we're not ready for this. So we took that video down, and again, I think that there was a little bit lost in the language, in the translation with that. What is the DabV device? Okay, I'm going to show you their little short video, and then I'll come back. So we'll take a break, show you their video, and I'll see you in just a minute.
Calcification, a dual threat impairing both operational efficiency and aesthetic appeal, leading to damaged heaters, skyrocketing energy costs, and compromised electrical equipment. Existing solutions falter, with costly mechanical methods and ineffective chemical treatments. Enter DabV, a beacon of innovation. DabV harnesses the power of piezoelectricity and sound waves, a 100% energy and environmentally friendly Norwegian innovation. It effortlessly attaches to your existing water piping, promising a world free from calcification, pathogens, and impurities. With DabV, say goodbye to calcification woes and hello to energy savings, enhanced compatibility with existing systems, and an eco-friendly solution to hard water problems. Enjoy showers that leave your hair smooth and silky without the chlorine smell or taste. Groundbreaking tests in Norway and Dubai have shown DabV's significant efficacy in preventing calcification, with remarkable improvements in water quality confirmed by elevated levels of calcium and magnesium. DabV treated water breaks bonds between water molecules, increasing active ions for an antibacterial effect, revitalizing water for humans, animals, and plants alike. From enhancing human health to promoting plant growth and improving aquaculture, DabV's applications are as diverse as they are impactful. Join the revolution in water purification with DabV.
Okay, I hope that was helpful. That the DabV device, I believe, originally was designed to help with mineral buildup in water pipes. It is a piezoelectric device. It does not require any filters or any batteries or anything like that. You put this on your water pipe, and through sound waves, it helps to break up the minerals in the pipes. Again, because my husband and I travel so much, and for another reason, which I'll share in just a minute, I've not been able to test this thoroughly and accurately on water pipes. Another reason is because when we travel, we're typically in very old houses that are going to have a lot of mineral buildup, and so it would probably take longer than we're going to be in that place to really thoroughly clean out the pipes and notice a significant difference. So the mineral buildup in the pipes is not something that I can address, but it's something that DabV has thoroughly tested. And I'm going to be sending my personal device to a friend of mine in South Dakota after this video, and they have extremely hard water. I'm going to let her test it on her pipes for a little bit. I plan to be purchasing, to be obtaining another one of these for a reason that I will share in just a moment. But let me show you this slide. I had a theory in my mind that the DabV is actually a water structuring device, which, getting into the science of what structured water is a little bit out of the scope of what I want to do in this video, but it actually changes the molecular structure of the water into a form that's more conducive with our body health, the way that our bodies utilize water. Our bodies actually make structured water, and there's some research by Dr. Stephanie Seneff, and I think the other guy's name is William Pollock. If you look on YouTube, you can find a lot of their research. They call it the exclusion zone, or easy water. There's an area around our cells, and I believe it may be the mitochondria, that there is a layer of this structured water. And when that water is structured, it allows for more energy transfer. So one of the things in my thought was, okay, if it's a water structuring device, if our cells have structured water, then would this increase cellular energy? So I'll show you this slide. This was very interesting. I took my mother-in-law to here in North Dakota for a little bit longer, and when we first got here, I took my mother-in-law to my chiropractor, because my chiropractor actually does what's called live blood analysis. So I had my mother, I had a water bottle and I held the DabV device. I just kind of taped it, or I think I used rubber bands to attach it to my mother-in-law's stainless steel water bottle. And I wouldn't let her touch it all morning long, until we got to the chiropractor. I think we got there like 11 o'clock or something like that. So she had her morning water and all that, so she was hydrated. But by the time we got to the chiropractor, she was wanting her water bottle, so she was thirsty. So that may have had some bearing on what you're going to see in this slide. But if you will look at this slide, this is my mother's blood before drinking water that had been restructured with the DabV device. What you see here is her red blood cells are stacked up in a pattern that is called rouleau. In this pattern, red blood cells cannot carry much oxygen, and because of that, the cells can't have the energy that they need. And so this is not good. It's fairly typical with all the Wi-Fi exposure and dietary issues and stuff that people have. My mother-in-law unfortunately doesn't have the very best diet. There's some room for improvement there, but she's usually fairly well hydrated. And so this did not surprise me, but what did surprise me is the finger stick that we took about 10 minutes after I not only had her drink about a pint of her structured water, and I had her hold the DabV device in her hand the entire time, you know, until we tested her blood again. So this next picture is her blood after having held the device for 10 minutes and having drunk about a pint of the DabV water, the structured water. I wish I had taken a video of this, because in this previous slide her blood was barely moving. There was almost no motion in it, which means there's very little energy in her blood. But when we did this second finger stick, not only were her blood cells more individual, not quite as clumped and stuck together, but they were moving a lot more readily. There was a lot more activity and energy present in her cells. So, you know, I would really like to see DabV do some research in this area. What are the biological effects of using the device? Because I'm going to share with you in just a minute some more effects that I noticed. But before we get into that, I want to share with you a quote. Let me see if I can find it quick. Okay, this is a quote from, if you go to their website, the DabV website here in the US is www.dabv.com, and I'll share the link below this video. But if you go, this is the landing page that you'll see, and if you click this tab that says Explore the Science, there is a document that you can actually download that has a lot of science, and this is a statement that I found in that document. There's two statements here that I'd like to share with you. Water stagnation causes environmental conditions that favor bacterial growth. So our water pipes are an environment of water stagnation, because we're not running the water all the time, and so it allows the water in our pipes to become stagnant, and that is an environment in which bacteria can grow, aside from the issue of mineral buildup. In some groundwater and in stagnated water in the distribution system, bad taste and odor, think about rotten eggs, may result from hydrogen sulfide. And many of you may have what's called sulfur water. We had that from our well when we lived on the farm in Kentucky. This is a result of oxygen depletion and the subsequent reduction of sulfate by bacterial activity. A second quote that I want to read: as the bulk water flows through the water main, a pipe wall biofilm may form on the inner surface of the pipe in drinking water distribution systems and reduce the water quality. If you follow our channel, you may have seen the video that I did on making salves and tinctures and extracts and stuff like that. In that video, I talk about biofilm. And what biofilm is, it's kind of like a shield that bacteria use so that anything that you put into pipes or your body or what have you can't penetrate it. They kind of hide behind it, and not only that, they use that biofilm to communicate with other bacteria. So biofilm is not a good thing. The most common biofilm is tooth plaque that we have on our teeth. So if we have this biofilm in these pipes, if you've ever picked up your sink drain and you feel it's slimy and slippery on the bottom, that's biofilm, and that is a perfect medium for bacteria to grow. With the DabV device, it breaks up the structure of the water in water distribution pipes. Your house, if you put this on your water inlet, it breaks up all of that biofilm, and it inhibits the capacity of bacteria to grow in that water. Now, I have not been able, we actually did some testing with the water authority down in Alabama, but it was, I don't know how to say it, it was inadequate. It was not a very good test at all. We really wasted our money, because the only things that they tested were like a little bit of mineral levels and stuff. So it was really not that helpful. So here is also a picture from their web page, that you can see there's some really good graphics in that document that you can download. You can go through there, you can read that, and here is the actual link for that document. But again, if you go here to their landing page and click this right blue button that says Explore the Science, you can download this document and read through it for yourself. There's a lot of links and different things, and then here on the left you'll see the Shop Now tab. Now I want to say, as I have been communicating with the folks at DabV, I've made it very clear from the get-go that my goal in this was not to become affiliated with them in a way that I made a lot of money. In fact, DabV has agreed for the first 2 weeks after this video is uploaded, and today is September 30th, and I hope to get this uploaded today. So 2 weeks from today, September 30th, 2024, DabV is giving $100 off with the code CFJ, C as in Charlie, F as in Frank, J as in James, CFJ 2024. If you use that code in these first 2 weeks, they will give a $100 discount. And I don't get any feedback from that. I'm not making any money on this whatsoever. And then after that 2 week period, if you use that CFJ 2024 code, DabV will give a $50 discount. And that particular special runs to the end of the year, and they are discussing whether or not they're going to allow it to go beyond the first of the year. I think it depends on the response that we get from this video. So let me share with you some of the things that I have found in my unbiased opinion of testing this thing, that I think has surprised me, and it maybe has surprised the folks at DabV. Originally, my friend Eva Steen from Norway told me about this device, and I'm sure I heard about it for the first time over a year ago, or about a year ago. And Eva shared with me that it was a water purification device, but it's not really a water purification device. They actually recommend that you run your water through, what I do is I run my water through a Berkey, and I rubber band this to the side of my Berkey, so that as the water to the bottom part where the clean water comes, I put the DabV device right on it. And again, you know, I could put it on the water intake, but I would still want to put it on my Berkey to structure. So that's one of the reasons why I plan to obtain another one. Another reason is because early in my testing of this device, I noticed I have an autoimmune disease called mixed connective tissue disease. Because in our travels I am constantly here and there being exposed to mold, it's been very difficult for me to get that autoimmune disease to go into remission. The main symptom of my autoimmune disease is intense pain, kind of like fibromyalgia type pain. But it's a very unique autoimmune disease in that it has components from scleroderma, from lupus, from all these other different diseases. So it's very difficult to diagnose, and it's fairly rare. But one thing that I noticed is holding this device in my hand when I was in pain significantly reduced my pain, particularly at night. And this is when I first began to notice it, that if I held the device because of pain at night when I was trying to go to sleep, I actually fell asleep faster and I slept better. Now, was that because of the pain reduction? Was it because of this thing structuring the liquids in my body? I don't know. So I would like to challenge the folks at DabV to do some testing on the human body. What is this thing doing? How is it, why is it doing that? I don't know. But I shared that with my friend Eva, and she tested it, and she noticed the same thing, and she shared it with many of her friends, and they tested it, and they noticed the same thing. And so it's kind of spreading that people are noticing tremendous health benefits. And I don't know what all health benefits people are noticing, but I know for me it's pain reduction and better sleep. So when I took my mother-in-law to my chiropractor back in, I think it was in May of this year, 2024, and I shared with her my results, she smiled and looked at me and she said, "I bet that thing is structuring the water in your body." And that was my theory. So I don't know, but I know what it did to my mother-in-law's blood. Now, I did test my own blood using the DabV. I redid it many times and tested. It took it longer to have the same result with me as it did on my mother-in-law. Is that because of mold exposure? Is that because of my autoimmune disease? Is that because I've had, tick-borne disease and tetanus and all this other stuff, which has triggered something called hypercoagulability? My blood is very thick and clumpy as a result of all these things, and that's something that's ongoing for me that I'm really working on, and it has improved. So I would like to see more testing, more scientific testing on this. But I noticed also when I put this on the side of the Berkey filter, the water tastes sweet, and it's like I crave the DabV water. The town of Goodrich, North Dakota has well water, and the well is like 600 plus feet deep, and it's pretty good water, but I much prefer the city water filtered through the Berkey and structured with the DabV. The taste to me is far superior even to that well water, and I feel more water satiety, if I could say it that way, more satisfied when I drink the DabV water. Now, DabV has done testing with animals, and they have, some of their representatives have said that their animals, if they put down a dish of regular water and a dish of water that's been structured with the DabV device, their animals will repeatedly refuse the city water and go to the DabV structured water. That's interesting. They've also reported some testing on people who have used it in agriculture, and I believe DabV is working on developing a larger device for commercial usage such as commercial gardening and things like that. But the people, I think they were in one of the Oriental countries, they grew sweet potatoes, and they noticed that they could actually ripen their crop of sweet potatoes in 3 months as opposed to 5 months, I think was the time frame, if I'm correct, using structured water for watering their crops. I wanted to test the device on our garden this year, but it was such a crazy summer in North Dakota this year. It was cold and wet this summer, so we only had to water the garden one time. So I wasn't able to test that myself, but I'd like to see somebody else test that also, and let's see if we can verify that. So those are the main things that I have noticed and the main claims. Now, I am starting now to go and look at the science a little bit more. There's a lot to this structured water thing. Again, you can find TED Talks by Dr. Stephanie Seneff and Dr. William Pollack, where they talk about, I think they call it the fourth phase of water. It's kind of a gel state. That is a reality. Our bodies do have this, our bodies actually make structured water, but if you're drinking structured water, you've saved your body that step because you're providing structured water. So those are the main things I wanted to share, and now here's some questions. Some of them I've kind of shared throughout the video that remain for me. One, again, I've not been able to test it on the water pipes as yet. We're just now going back to Alabama. We're leaving just in about a week, and I plan to test it on my mother's house in Alabama. Her house was built in the mid-70s. We used to be on well water. I know there's some buildup, so I'm going to put this on the water intake, and then the extra one that I'm going to get, I'm going to have to divide it between carrying it and putting it on our Berkey water filter. So we are going to test that ourselves. Again, I've not been able to test it in the garden, so that question remains for me. One big question that I have, I would like to see DabV test this on people with Wi-Fi and EMF sensitivity, because I have that Wi-Fi and EMF sensitivity, and I seem to feel better able to tolerate it. Where I am sitting right now in the basement directly below me is the Wi-Fi router and the breaker box. So there's a lot of, when I tested it with my electrical meter doodad, it just went nuts right here. And when I sit here or at this table in this general vicinity, doing research or doing a Zoom or what have you, usually within 15 to 20 minutes, I'm having palpitations, I'm nauseous, I'm dizzy, I have a headache, I have brain fog, I just don't feel well. When I'm holding this doodad, that doesn't really happen. And so, what is it doing? How is it somehow seems to mitigate the Wi-Fi and EMF sensitivity? I don't know. DabV, answer that question for me, please. Okay. So the other question that I have is the device structuring human blood? What are the biological effects? So I want you to study that. And then someone else asked me the question, will this deal with extreme hardness, extreme mineral buildup, pH of 7 and all this, mineral deposits in the pipes? So that's something that may already be on their website, but again, I purposely did not expose myself to a lot of information on their website because I wanted to remain more objective and unbiased in my observations. So again, I am not making any money at all on this, and I told DabV I am not in this to make money, I'm in this to help our followers. So the device used to be $700. This one was $700. Okay, they actually provided this one for me to test, and I really appreciate that because I think they're going to let me keep it. I don't know, but at any rate, even if they don't, I'm going to purchase one. The price has come down to $490, and again, if you use the code CFJ2024 in the next 2 weeks, they'll give you a $100 discount, so that's $390 instead of $490. Of course, there's taxes and shipping in addition to that. And then if you miss the 2-week window, you can still get a $50 discount using the code CFJ2024. And we don't plan to become affiliates or distributors or what have you, but we really appreciate DabV being willing to give our followers a discount on this device, because I don't know exactly how it works. I don't understand piezoelectricity. Maybe some of you do, but I do know that the things that I've shared with you that it has done for me are real. I definitely have less pain. I definitely tolerate Wi-Fi and EMF much better when this device is attached to me somehow. If it's in my pocket, sometimes I stick it in my sock. If I don't have pockets, why would you not have pockets? Anyway, some of my dressier skirts don't have pockets. So anyway, that's it. I can't think of anything else to share, but I do believe it works. I do believe, if for no other reason than the fact that it reduces my pain, I believe it's worthwhile. I really do. It's not a water filtration device. When it dissolves minerals in the pipes, yes, that stuff's in the water, but eventually it's going to be flushed out. Okay, once all of it breaks up and everything, it will be flushed out. So that's all I have to share right now. If you do have questions, go to their webpage, www.dabv.com. I'll put a link in the description. Scroll through. They have an FAQ, frequently asked questions. They have scientific documents. They have all kind of stuff. You can watch the little animated video, and share this video with your friends. And I guess that's it. And Lord willing, we will see you on the next video, which most likely will be from Alabama. Take care.